What's good, y'all? Reborn here, back with another video, and this video is kind of going to be me going piggybacking off of something that I said in a previous video. I don't know if that video is gonna go out before this one, but the video where I talk about anime that I want to see get remade, I obviously brought up Berserk, and this video is kind of going to be discussing what I want to see if Berserk eventually gets adapted again. Right now, let me first start by saying I'm not really fiending for this adaptation. This is something that I thought about on a random Tuesday night. I know some people are gonna be like, bro, Berserk doesn't need to get animated, blah, 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 blah. Just read the manga. I have the manga, bro. I'm just chatting, bro. Like, be nice to me. But if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming that you like Berserk, or maybe you like my content. Maybe you actually watch my videos, which if you do, you're the best. I love you. But I'm assuming that, if you're a Berserk fan, you already had the basic, you already get the basic gist of the story, right? Berserk is a popular, dark fantasy manga featuring the characters Griffith and Guts. Other characters, are, throughout the story, but those are just the most popular, right? It's written by the legendary Kentaro Miura, rest in peace to his amazing soul. But Berserk is also known for something else besides being a legendary dark fantasy manga, and that is, it is known for not really having any great adaptations. We have the 1997 anime, which is probably the most beloved because this is a lot of people's first encounter with Berserk. It was mine as well. I watched this anime on YouTube. I don't know if the YouTube thing is still up, but I remember, bro, that shit was like a gold mine because, like, back then, anime just wasn't on YouTube. I mean, even now it's still not on YouTube, but the whole season was just on YouTube, free for you to watch. No, it wasn't cut up or anything. It was just straight up the whole episode on there. So that was my first experience with Berserk, and then I obviously got into the manga and I fell in love with his Kentaro Miura's work. And yeah, now the series, the 1997 series, for the most part is pretty damn good. It does leave out some things, the Black Swordsman arc, the Skull Knight, something, other things are left out too, but we're not going to get into the entirety. And then there's the trilogy, which only focuses on the Golden Age, but it's actually the most faithful of the three if we're just including the arcs, because the Memorial Edition went back and adjusted a lot of the stuff that was not faithful at first. And then we have the 2016 to 27 anime, which is really bad, in my opinion. This is one of the worst adaptations known to man. I think, it's funny because people will talk about worst anime adaptations, and I feel like, honestly, this isn't brought up enough, low-key. But yeah, I think this is straight up, one of the worst anime adaptations that you could ever ask for. The fact that Berserk is as popular as it is and it got done like that is kind of just damn. You feel me? Another thing I want to say, though, is if Berserk is actually going to get remade or, another anime adaptation, can we please start from the beginning and get the Black Swordsman arc? I don't know what's up with all of these adaptations just saying fuck it and skipping it. I guess, obviously, the Golden Age does take place before the Black Swordsman arc, but, you might as well just do it in order because the Black Swordsman arc, kind of gives us an idea of, okay, why is Guts the way that he is now. So I feel am I wrong here, guys? Am I wrong here? Let me know. But yeah, the adaptations seem to be allergic to doing it. They love the Golden Age, which I love the Golden Age arc. It's a lot of people's favorite arc because it's the only arc they've ever read of Berserk. Put a gun to a Berserk fan's head, a quote-unquote fan's head. Ask them to name 3 Berserk arcs, not including Golden Age, and they're going to start to freeze up. But yeah, I think we need to, the Golden Age at this point is damn near just as recognizable as Batman's origin with how much times we've seen it, bro. Everybody knows what goes on with Guts and Griffith. Everybody knows about the eclipse. We all know, bro. It's crazy that I'm even pleading for an adaptation to start with the first arc. And bro, the Black Swordsman arc isn't even that long either. it's not that long. So come on, like I don't know, bro. But next, the show needs to actually have a decent budget, right? If this were going to happen, right, this needs a decent budget, and it needs to be given to a studio that is actually going to give their animators a decent time frame to get this work done. Because Kentaro Miura, bro, his art is like, all of those panels dead ass could be like put in a museum. Everything is extremely detailed. Like that, the fact that a human even made that, like, sometimes still has me thinking like bro, there's no way. It's not something that could easily be replicated. So you need a big team, and it needs to, like, they need ample time to work on it to try and, you know, replicate his work. Another thing I want to mention, and this is possibly, you know, partially why I've given up on the idea of Berserk ever really getting another adaptation, is this is a very dark manga, bro. It's very dark, and I don't know if, like, studios are going to want to adapt, like, you know, some things like the Lost Children arc and things like that. I don't know if they're going to want to adapt that on television. So it is, you also do have to take that into account. But yeah, animators, bro, pray for them, because they're going to be slaving adapting this series like post Golden Age. So yeah. But one thing that I will say that I have, you know, kind of thought about as like a possibility, and hear me out, guys, don't kill me, for all my Berserk fans watching, don't kill me. How would you guys feel if Berserk got each arc adapted into a film, like trilogy, right? Now, there are not much series that, you know, do this. In fact, I can only name one, like, thing that I know of that had its, like, entirety adapted into films, and that's literally a game adaptation, which Persona 3, you know, got adapted into films, right? Now, obviously, it would not be the same as seeing it weekly. Like, imagine seeing the Eclipse weekly, or, you know, seeing Griffith return. Like, that shit would be so tough. But, it would not be the same, right? But if it meant getting better animation and an actual faithful adaptation, would y'all boys go for it? Also, I'm pretty sure in films, like, they can be a lot more violent. You know, they can get away with a lot more stuff than if it's being televised. So there is that you can also think about. But there's another thing, right? There is also the take that, you know, maybe Berserk is too popular and it deserves way better than just getting films as adaptations. And then you also have to take into account, right, this series is popular, but would those films make enough to sustain making a film for each arc, right? Each arc, once again, deadass this, each arc would have to get trilogies, except maybe like the Black Swordsman's arc, right? Bro, that's great. Like, these films would have to make crazy bank, and that would have to be like a big commitment, right? This is like a 20-year commitment we're talking about with how long some of those arcs are. Mind you, Berserk started off as a monthly series, and then I'm pretty sure it went on to become bi-monthly. So those chapters are thicker than those weekly Shonen Jump chapters, mind you. 400 of those. So, like, that's a big commitment, right? We have seen anime films like garner more budgets and more success, you know, off these smaller budgets like Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer. But I don't know if the enthusiasm is there for films, to be honest. Like, once again, going back to the thing that I said a little bit earlier, I remember I seen a content creator ask, not a content creator, a commentator ask another content creator, basically, like, how would they feel about, I think it was Dragon Ball Super, like, how they would feel if that got films, like, if that got adapted into films, and they were like, hell nah, which I agree. I think, you know, that's a big no-no. Dragon Ball is way too big, you know, to be getting adapted into films. And, you know, you got to think, like, a lot of people are going to think that same way for Berserk. You know, Berserk is a very, you know, popular series, so people might feel some type of way and it's just going to be like, damn, you know, well, why are we getting films? We deserve a faithful weekly anime adaptation, you know? But that is just some thought for the most part. I've kind of given up on Berserk getting a good anime adaptation for the most part, to be honest. And the funniest thing about this is I don't even really watch anime like that anymore. I literally just stick to reading manga. Like, if I watch an anime that I like, I'll just transfer to the manga like 90% of the time. So this literally would just be me getting two cakes. Although for Berserk, I would show out if they gave Berserk a faithful adaptation. But let me know what you guys want to see from another potential Berserk adaptation. Do you want that weekly? You know, would you prefer weekly, but maybe we get longer hiatuses in between? Or would you prefer movies, you know, with better animation, things like that? You know, there's more, it's more graphic, you know, things like that. But let me know if you guys like my idea, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Reborn out.